So, to our audience, welcome to another edition of Gradvine Speaks. I know it's been a while since the last upload, but I'm going to more than make up for it because of the guest we have here today. Please welcome Jahnavi Shah, who's pursuing her master's in engineering management at Cornell University. I'm sure a lot of you would have heard from her already with the wonderful work she's been doing at LinkedIn through the LinkedIn Creator Accelerator program. We are also mighty thrilled to state that she was a mentee with us last year and is back on board with us as a mentor as well. So, Janvi, welcome. I think things have come up full circle in perhaps a little bit over a year of our association. So, thank you so much for doing this and welcome.
Thank you so much, Sreekar. I've had a blast, whether I was working with Gradvine or even when you were advising me. So, yeah, I am so glad we're able to do this.
Yeah, I'm super excited about the conversation as well because there's so many insights that I like to gain from students because it's been a while since I've attended grad school. And that's one thing that I'm going to touch upon right now, right? Um,
Yeah.
let's go straight out of the bat. Ivy League, it's something that so many of us dream of, right? Perhaps before we even realize what it is. But this, I'm guessing, is a fulfillment of a dream. So, how does it feel to be on an Ivy League campus right now?
I mean, I love it. And being in like one of the Ivy League schools was obviously a dream, but I didn't realize the impact of being here till I was at the Cornell campus. I mean, it's so pretty and it's fabulous. The vibes, the people, everyone is doing their own thing. Everyone is so fabulous. So, yeah, I mean, the hype that is there of the Ivy League school, I get it now.
So, did you find any favorite spots on campus or some old building that made your jaw drop yet?
Yes, so the Cornell campus has this McGraw Tower, which is the bell tower where the chimes are played, and there's the light slope just beside it. And probably in the first week itself, I and my friends we just went to the slope and we saw the sunset together, and it was so fabulous. There, like every building over here has like some unique story attached to it, and every time I and my friends walk by the campus or some ancient building we always think like, oh, I think this is where Hogwarts was when, they probably shot it or maybe in the past century or whatever. It's like, it's very pretty. And yeah, every building over here is fantastic.
All right, that's wonderful to know. I think the architecture is what gets us a little bit, and Cornell, of
Mm.
course, being a campus town, has a charm of its own, like a lot of Ivy League campuses. So I wanted to touch upon, very briefly upon your choice of course, because the MEM or the engineering management has grown in popularity, right? At least I've seen it grow tremendously in the last 5 to 6 years. So, how did you choose the MEM as a choice of master's degree? Were you aware of it from before, or is it something that happened suddenly?
So I guess till my second year of undergrad, I just wanted a master's in computer science, but I outgrew my passion of that and I started getting more involved in things like design or management, but I was equally interested in tech. So I started looking for degrees which, combined all of this. So I found out that MEM was one of them and MIS was one of them. So this is how I got to know about the degree and got into the decision of actually applying for MEM and MIS degrees. But till the longest time, I thought I just wanted to apply for CS. So like, yeah, product management was something that I wanted to do, and I thought that the courses offered by MEM and MIS really relate to the product management work that product managers do in real life. So I was like, yeah, this degree is a good fit.
Yeah, and I wanted to, pick your brains about this a little bit more because I'm sure you have a far more current thought process than, I do at least. But the Indian mentality with parents and professors is stick to your core, stick to your core, specialize, be
Mm-hmm.
technical, right? And a lot of
Mm-hmm.
students come to me and ask me, hey, you know what? I really love product management. I really love the MEM curriculum. I really love the MIS curriculum, but it's not core. So should I even be pursuing it? So, did
Hmm.
you have that confusion ever while you were considering courses?
Yeah, so the first time I actually talked to my dad that I want to pursue this MEM degree and not computer science, he was like, "What about data analytics? What about big data? This is trending." And I'm like, I had only one thing in mind, that I'll only be able to study or do something that I actually want to do. I love computer science, I love coding, but that is not what I want to do for my entire life. And this is what I explained to my parents too, and like other people too, a lot of times, that do what you like to do. Just don't run after core courses. I know my friends who are doing computer science masters, but they're actually intrigued by it. And yeah, there is that factor that there are a lot of jobs and there are a lot of opportunities after you do computer science. There's a wide array of things, but at the same time, like, people just run after it just because there are a lot of opportunities doesn't mean that you'll be good at it. So just analyze what you're good at and just do what you want to do. There's surely a way to convince people to do that.
Absolutely. I think it all comes down to your own conviction. And once you reach a graduate school level, once you're done with engineering, you really do have to find what you like, right? You cannot
Yeah.
escape from things beyond that. It's probably a last degree. And, thanks for that insight. I think that would encourage a lot of people who really find these courses interesting not to worry about, other perspectives. So,
Mm.
at what point did you start exploring colleges? What are the primary set of colleges you explored? What sources did you use?
Yeah, so I think I started last year around March or April, just when I was done with my GRE. And then I started exploring the colleges that offered this MEM degree and what were the opportunities after you graduate from that school, connect to alumni. And then I guess I started my consulting with Gradvine too at the same time. So the first approach was obviously the list of universities that you all gave to me, and then I just explored the courses. The curriculum is very different. For example, the curriculum of Columbia is very operational based, and I think I had this talk with you too, that that is not I want what I want to get into. So I didn't even apply to Columbia, even though it's a great school. So it's just about maybe finding the fit of what you want to do and which school offers that. And I guess I applied to a mix of MIS and MEM degrees. So it started around June or July. It was very early for me. Yeah, but it did start around that time frame.
All right, and I'm glad that you bring up that point about the curriculum, right? Because
Yeah.
I get so many students who come in and say, not to pick on any college, but just say Columbia,
Yeah.
or just say
Yeah.
Brown, or some
Yeah.
college like that because it's a brand. And
Mm.
you can't mess around with curriculums when you're spending so much. You better like the curriculum when you're going
Yeah.
abroad. And thanks for
Yes.
bringing that up, because if you apply to Columbia, you'd have probably gotten in too. But if you aren't going to enjoy the curriculum, what's the
Mm.
point? So that's such an
Yeah.
important thing that you brought up. Were there any other schools specifically that appealed to you in terms of the curriculum?
I loved the Stanford MSNE curriculum, and it's amazing. I loved the MISM or MSI, I'm not sure, degree offered by University of Washington. So I loved that too. And obviously, Cornell was one of my favorites. Indiana Kelly's MSIS was also one of my favorites. But again, like, I heard a lot of alum talking that they were going on a lot of consulting side. Plus, it was starting really early, which I didn't want to do. So yeah, that is why I didn't go to Kelly too. But yeah, these were some Dartmouth's course. Yeah, so Dartmouth's course was also really nice. I loved their MEM program. Duke's MEM program is like really good, and they have a lot of product management related electives too. So I loved that school too. These were like one of my favorites.
All right, fantastic. And I know for a fact that you got into a lot of brilliant schools, all elite schools. But how did you make that choice with Cornell?
Yeah, so first of all, like, I applied to MEM, MIS, and CS as a backup too, and I had some universities in all of those buckets. So first, I decided which course I wanted to study, I got into MSCS at USC too, but I was like, yeah, I cannot do computer science anymore. I want to explore more things. So first of all, I dropped the MSCS degree, and then I was evaluating my options of MIS and MEM. And for MEM, I had options from Duke, from Cornell, and I got into CMU MIS Global program, which I didn't want to pursue because it was global and I just wanted to stay in US. And I got into Indiana Kelly, but again, it was starting too early. So the main decision was just between Cornell and Duke MEM. And it was a very tough decision. I've talked to hundreds of people, but like my main motive was that the Duke class size is like really big, and for my masters I wanted a more elite group, where I could get more attention, and where I can study between a closed set of people. Plus, Cornell is Ivy League. Duke is equally good, but yeah, that was some of the reasons. And plus, everyone I talked at Cornell to was like, you should definitely pick Cornell. Cornell has a very big brand name. Cornell is this, Cornell is that. No one said one bad thing about Cornell. So that really made my decision very, very sure that, yeah, I want to go to Cornell for sure.
Just curious, how big is your class this year at Cornell?
So it's around 70 students, 65
Okay,
to
so
70
that's
students, yeah.
all right. So that's pretty tight. That's a small class, and I see where the
Yeah.
value comes. I think probably by the time you're done with your program, all of your professors will know each one of you by name. You probably can have coffee with them,
Yeah.
which is the value
Yeah.
that a small program offers. So that's fantastic to
Yeah.
know. So this is something I love asking people, who are at the university or who passed out, right? Because as Indian students, we have these master's dreams. We give it our all. We
Mm.
get into great universities, but as soon as we get there, it might be a little overwhelming once you hit that campus, once you have the assignments coming through, once you have that diverse class, and it's
Yeah.
just like no speed breaker, right? You're thrown into the deep end straight away. So,
Mm.
has it been the same with you at Cornell when you landed?
So the first orientation week was like very chill. We were just roaming around campus and we were exploring things. And then the reality hit from the first day of the second week. We were going to classes, and probably just 1 or 2 weeks back, we had a deadline for an assignment which was very tough. And I almost cried doing that assignment. It was so frustrating and hectic. So yes, plus you have to like cook, you have to clean, you have to do all the household chores, you have to go and shop groceries, things, set up your house. So it is very overwhelming for the first week, but studying over here is an altogether different experience, and I have loved it. Like, I've not regretted any second of it. Like, I miss India, I miss my family, but at the same time I love studying here, and I wouldn't have changed my decision for anything.
Oh yeah, of course. And I think good things don't come easy, and definitely the
Yeah.
degree earned is not easy, but it's certainly worth it. So worth it. And I think this is the common thing that I hear from students who go to elite schools, that you have to put in the work, but well worth it for
Yeah.
sure. So let's perhaps look into the future a little bit, right?
Mm.
So do you have any concrete plans as to what kind of careers you want to pursue after the program? Also, was this plan something that you were fairly certain about before you applied itself, or has it evolved through your application journey?
So I was pretty sure by the time I was applying to that I'm really interested in product management, and that was because I had been exploring the PM domain since the last 2 years. I was sure that this is what I want to get into. So I was sure that I want to become a product manager after I graduate. And even when I was applying to schools, I was looking at the courses and seeing that do this courses map to the real world things that product managers do. So yeah, I hope to get a product manager job after I graduate. Let's see if that happens or not. That is like one of the things I'm focusing on, and I also love data analysis apart from PM too. So maybe that would be something that I'm interested to do too.
All right, yeah, thanks so much. And product management,
Mm.
of course, something that a lot of people are talking about, and definitely a
Mm.
booming area. Have you interacted with career services at Cornell at all, or been to any networking events yet, or is it too early for that?
Yes, it's definitely not early. So one of our seminars started before we even landed in Cornell. So like we had a professional development seminar which started in probably July end or August, where they started giving us 1 hour workshops on how to build your resume, your CV, how to network, how to tackle interview questions and everything. And we have that course once in a week every day. So we have gotten that interaction, and I haven't done this, but a lot of my other friends have actually scheduled resume review sessions with the career services team, and they're really good. Like they're very active with helping out students, and there are workshops happening now and then. You can enroll, you can go. So yeah, they're definitely very helpful and very active.
All right. And have you attended a career fair or anything of that sort yet, or is there something scheduled soon?
Yes, yes. We just had a career fair. It was on 14th and 15th September. So first one was just STEM focused, and the second one was all industries. And I did talk to a few companies that were based in New York and around. And since I was looking for product manager roles, it wasn't, the opportunities for talking weren't that much for me. But a lot of consulting companies came. I know every big consulting company came. A lot of other companies came to recruit engineers too. So yeah, the career fair was pretty good. It was virtual, so I haven't had an in-person career fair yet, but the virtual one was also good.
All right, all right. Thank you so much for that,
Mm,
insight on in your
mm,
into your campus life.
mm,
So I know that you, went about the application process in a very organized, and methodical manner, right? Everything was,
mm.
very, very well
Yeah.
set up. You had all your timeline set, and it was a, fairly stress-free process, I'd say,
Yeah.
compared to a lot of students. So, do
Mm,
you have any advice you want to give to students who are right at the heat of the application process right now,
mm.
or who want to start off in future?
So I think one advice I would give is that, okay, I have a lot of things to say about this. So, first of all, don't think that you're late. I have seen my friends start applying around like give the GRE in September, October, and then make it to the application deadlines too. So don't get under that pressure. And it's always good to start early. So, first have a list of the entire university that you want to apply, and I made an entire sheet of requirements for college, that this college wants the SOP, resume, how many letter of recommendations and everything. So get organized, because every college will have like a different set of requirements. So make that first, and then start working on your SOP, because that is something that will really take time, SOP and resume. So start working on that simultaneously and gather all of your documents and try to apply to the early deadlines if possible. um, yeah, that is all I have to say. Don't stress out. It will be very stressful till like November end or December end too, probably, but I assure you it will be worth it.
Did you have maybe something that you made a mistake with during the process, any misconception you had, or did you see
Mm,
anyone who was your friend or seeking advice who did
mm.
something wrong which they shouldn't have perhaps during the process?
Um, I don't recall of anything, but I remember my friends complaining a lot about the consultancies they enrolled into and them not providing proper docs or requirements, and then they had to do everything on their own. I never had that experience because I had a fabulous experience with Gradvine, but yeah, that is something you want to make sure. Like, I know a lot of consultancies who say that we'll provide this, we'll provide that, and then I've seen them not match their requirements. So do your research properly before enrolling into somewhere that you're not sure of. So yeah, that would be something you should take care of.
All right, that was actually going to be, my next question, but perhaps you answered it. Maybe you want to take,
Mm,
another crack at it. But do you think that
mm.
enrolling at a consultancy is necessary, or you think that somebody should do the process on their own?
Yes, so I asked this to a lot of my seniors too, and it was a 50-50 opinion that you can do it on your own too, and you need to get a consultancy. So I evaluated it for myself. Like, I knew that I had my college going. I wouldn't have been able to give so much time to planning, researching, all of that on my own. So that is why I opted for a consultancy, because I wanted someone to maybe keep me on my deadlines, give me more insights, help me research and everything. So it's just a personal opinion, probably. If you're good at researching, if you think you have time, and you don't need so much guidance, you can definitely do it on your own. But if you're someone like me, then you should consider getting like enrolled in a consult.
Yeah, and this is what, when people ask me, it's almost such a conflict of interest, right? Like, what do I say to that?
Mm.
I'm obviously going to say yes. But, the answer I give them is sure, the right people can be super helpful during the process, because you
Yeah.
might find that one university which you aren't aware of, which is the perfect fit for you. And you might save a lot of money by not applying to a lot of safe schools, which you really shouldn't even be looking at. But of course, if you have somebody with a lack of information or an ulterior motive, then it gets troublesome. So I think you hit the nail on
Yes.
the head when you said,
Mm.
do your research, right? Even when
Definitely.
somebody is giving you advice, like even if we are giving you advice, you need to do your
Mm.
research and see if that advice is valid. So,
Yeah.
thanks so much for, doubling down on that. Uh,
Mm.
I wanted to touch quickly upon the, SOP, right? And
Mm.
of course, your SOP was incredibly strong. That's the reason why you did make it to a lot of these good programs. So, do you have any tips for candidates on how they should go about the SOP?
Yes, and I think I've been getting a lot of these questions. Yeah, first of all, like, uh, just don't state facts as you writing it as a resume. Try to, you'll have a lot of achievements, you'll have a lot of things to display on your SOP, but just pick out the ones that actually tell about, expand upon what kind of person are you. So, like, just don't say that I came third year, I came fourth year, I built this, I built that, I interned here, I interned there. That is not gonna help. And I think your SOP has to be personalized too. So I had different SOPs for different colleges. You have to tell them why you're interested in that specific course, that specific college, and probably just convey your story. For me, my story was that I've always been interested in innovating, building new products, or building something out of scrap. And I have built my experience to do that. And right now, too, I haven't become a master at it. That is why I want to get this master so that I can become better at what I think I'm passionate about. So just that, and try to revise your SOP at least like 5 to 6 times. That is like very minimum, but like your first draft wouldn't be the best one. You will be completely blank when you're writing it down for the first time too, especially. So yeah, just keep revising it. It will get better with time, and get reviews from your friends or people you trust that will give you an honest opinion. I think that should help with your SOP.
All right, thank you so much for that, very accurate and grounded advice. So, do you have anything to say to people who are obsessed with starting the SOP off with a bang or with a quote, or try and capture the reader's attention with a brilliant start?
Um, I think more than a brilliant start, you need a start that conveys why you want to do this, or what have you been doing, what is your story. That is more important. There'll be a lot of people who will bluff, who will have this brilliant starts, but you have your own unique story, which a lot of people won't have. So that is more important than just writing random things in the SOP.
All right, yeah, I think bang on, get down to business and state your reason to apply to the program is what would be the best way. So I think this is something also that you can give, great insight for a lot of people listening in, because of the wonderful work you've done on LinkedIn. So when did you start building a personal brand, be it LinkedIn or elsewhere? Has it
Mm.
been something on your mind for a while?
So the first time I created my LinkedIn account was on the first semester of my undergrad, and I just wanted to just wanted an internship or something. So I just started exploring like how to get Python internships, what skills do you need, and I probably got. So I just created it and left it for like maybe 6 months. I wasn't that frequent using it, but probably from the second semester. So from the second semester, I heard a lot of people saying that you can find internships on LinkedIn, you can find relevant people on LinkedIn. So I was like, okay, let's restart this again, let's see. So for almost a year I was just a silent user of LinkedIn. I was observing people, I was learning from other people that how does networking help, how does your personal brand help. There are a lot of great creators on LinkedIn. So I was just watching them, I was connecting with people, and then I realized that especially in India and especially as a student, you're never taught what networking and personal branding is, and it can be life changing. Especially for me, I came from a university that is not well known all around India. So like we don't have a brand name attached, we don't have great companies coming for off campus placement. So we need to on campus placement, sorry, so we need to get it off campus. So I could see the difference that networking and personal branding made, and a lot of people weren't aware about this. So I just started by helping my friends build their LinkedIn and personal branding profiles, and then I realized, okay, there are a lot of people who need to learn this. So it just started off as that, and it probably took me 1.5 year to just reach 3,000 or 5,000 followers. And right now, just within maybe 21 days, I reached from 10K to 20K. So yeah, the
Oh,
growth has
wow.
been exponential. Yes, but yeah, it has been something that I've been working on for like 4 to 5 years. So yeah.
So, just touching upon this a little bit further, I see that you
Mm,
post content that is fairly diverse, based on your own
mm,
master's journey and, a bunch of
mm,
different things. But
mm,
how do you think this is going to help you perhaps in your future job search, or has it
mm,
already helped you by just being active on LinkedIn, not specifically looking for jobs, but actually putting,
mm.
different content out there? Do you think that's useful?
Yeah, so actually, my content changes with the experiences that I'm having. So, like, probably in my undergrad, I was a lot about networking, personal branding, how it helps undergrad students. Now, I'm more about sharing my master's journey, how you can, approach universities, how you can get into good universities. And I think it helps a lot because right now, too, when I connect with people, to ask for referrals or just know about their journey, 50% of them come back saying telling me that we've seen your posts on our feed and you're creating amazing content, we love it. And I have people, like one of my mentors told me that he was randomly talking to one person, one of his friend one day, and somehow he mentioned me, and she knew that who I was, even though I don't know her. She was like, yeah, I've seen her on LinkedIn. So that definitely helps people know about you, even when you've not met them. Plus, right now, if I post something about product management or my interest, there are 20,000 people seeing it, and their network also sees that. So the reach that I get is like immense. And obviously, I'll gather a lot of attention. Opportunities will come to me because I'm posting my work and I'm doing things that people can see. So it definitely helps.
All right. Can you also quickly run me through the Creator Accelerator program at LinkedIn and how there was mentorship there and how the entire program worked in a nutshell?
Yes, for sure. So, this was the first edition of the Creator Accelerator program in India. So, the first ever worldwide edition was in US, and I saw that at that time, and I was like, "Damn, I really want to apply to this," but it was for only US residents. So one day I was just randomly scrolling and I saw that they launched this Creator Accelerator program in India too, and I was so happy that I am definitely going to apply to this. I applied and I was one of the 200 creators that they selected all over India. And for 10 weeks, we got mentorships from Ankur Wariku, Radhika Gupta. If you've seen videos of Nas daily. So we had amazing mentors. We had workshops on how to create content, content strategy, how to shoot videos, everything like A to Z from videos. And we had lessons from successful creators. So it was definitely amazing. I missed the offline graduation ceremony that happened at LinkedIn office in Bangalore, but I did get the chance to meet a few of the creators when I went to Delhi, and all of them are so amazing. You get to learn so much, and if you're actually interested in exploring the content creation domain, this is definitely like this program was amazing for me. Like, I learned so much, and it has definitely helped my LinkedIn journey.
All right, all right. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for that insight. So January, just before we wrap up, perhaps last question. You mentioned that you don't come from, a college that is regarded as, tier one,
Yeah.
or a big brand, or
Yeah.
anything of that sort. Yet today you are at an institution which essentially defines, tier one in the world, essentially, right? What do you believe contributed the most significantly to your success in making it to Cornell, in terms of your profile? What do
Mhm.
you believe it was?
Um, I think one of the things would be my journey and the work I have done consistently throughout the 4 years. So, like from the start of the 4 year journey, I knew that I wanted to get a master's, and I kept connecting with the students or friends I had who were pursuing masters. That what is a good profile, what should we do, and they gave me a lot of insights that you can build projects, you can do internships, you can do this, you can do that. So I had a very clear idea of the things that I had to do by the end of third year or whenever I wanted to apply. So I think I started working on it very early on. I knew I went into clubs, I explored a lot of different things. So that was one of the factors. And just because I started early and started doing that work early on, I had so much to talk about, so much to write about, and to explain from where I came from and where I want to go. That I think that helped me get into Cornell.
All right. I think that is so brilliantly put. I think to our viewers, essentially, tier one, tier two, tier three, it doesn't matter. You put in the work, you work in a focused manner,
Mhm.
also keep your grades up decently well, and there's
Yeah.
no reason why you cannot achieve great things. So, Janvi, that is all the questions that I had today. Thank you so, so
Mhm.
much for this wonderful interaction. I'm sure so many of our viewers are
Yeah.
going to find it so useful. And before
Mhm.
we say goodbye, I just wanted to say that
Mhm.
whatever you've achieved, so well deserved. I think right from day one, I was able to see your diligence through the process and the kind of profile you'd built up. So you
Mhm.
deserve all the success that's come and all the success that's without doubt going to come to you in the future. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for this interaction. And do you have anything to say before we say goodbye to our viewers on YouTube?
For the viewers, I would like to say that don't let anyone define you. Just work on yourself, and it'll be hectic, but you'll get through the process, and it'll be worth it. And apart from that, I like to thank the Gradvine team and you for being so encouraging and always accommodating. So thank you for that, and I had a lovely experience as always.
All right. Lovely speaking with you, Janvi. Hopefully, we'll catch up soon.